to go ahead, we are going to give you the opportunity where you can go for video conferencing meeting, even for approval of annual financial statements, board report. So in company law, you should know that this amendment will be applicable till this COVID problem is solved. So as of now, they said June 30th, this amendment will be there. After that, we don't know. You never know. Government may actually start allowing these things on a overall basis also, but right now it is not there. Okay. Okay. So once we understand that, let us just go to the next one. Yes. We need to try and understand the next amendment here. Yeah. So this amendment will be there only for 104 days, that is 19th March to 30th June. So please take note of this. So from 1st July, as of now, they're saying this amendment will be removed, but it is only a matter of time. We are not sure. Next amendment, which we should know very carefully, is related to the SEBI LODR regulations. So now before that, we'll just go back to this amendment so that you should understand the government order, as you can see over here. Yes. So this is 19th March 2020. So 19th March 2020, we have got this order. And what are we amending? The company's meetings of the board and its powers amendment rules. So what are we calling this as? Company's meeting of the board and its powers amendment rules 2020, right? So there are many amendments. So what you should know is that because of this crisis, lot of laws are amended, and we'll be covering all of that in this presentation. Of course, we have it tomorrow and day after also at SuperProfs. So today I'll try to cover a few, and we'll do tomorrow and after also. So this is what we understood. Now that you know that even things which we could not do in board meeting, what is it that we could not do? As you can see on the screen, it is approval of financial statements, board's report approval, appointment, approval of the prospectus, audit committee meetings. All these things, usually we had to have a physical meeting. But now, because of this problem, we can have a video conferencing meeting. Next, we come to the quorum. So physically present. So quorum should be physically present. This is one issue. What if all the directors are in different places now because of COVID? So this problem is there, but this amendment we have to know. So other directors can come in video conferencing. Quorum should be physically present is what they're telling. Okay. Next, as I told you, we'll go to the SEBI. So now we should understand, even for listed companies, it's becoming very difficult to function because physically everybody has to stay at home, and this is a problem which will persist for some more time. Even if the lockdown is closed and people can move, but it will be difficult for companies to function. And sometimes what happens, directors are in different countries, different locations. So there will be restrictions for flying and all, which is going to definitely be for many more months. That is why even in SEBI LODR regulations, we have certain amendments. And there we're talking mainly about extension of the time limit for filing. So let us have a look at it. Extension of the time limit for filing. So if you see here LODR, again, please make note of it. Very crucial for exam. What are they telling? We are going to give you extra time. Extra time for what? For example, compliance certificate for the share transfer facility. So this usually it's half yearly, and 30th April was the due date. But now they're telling that we can do it up to 31st May. Or if you are having any statement of investor complaints, so that we had to file quarterly. But now it can be May 15th. Of course, now all the investors will only complain that the share prices have gone down, but company cannot do anything. It is the market forces. but not like that any complaints relating to the services if the company is not providing the services properly. Okay. Next, we go to the uh, corporate governance report. See, this is one thing as a company secretary, executive, or professional students you should know. Every quarter, a corporate governance report has to be given. It has to be filed. So April 15th was the last date, but now because of the COVID crisis, companies are going to get 1 month extra till May 15th. Then same thing relating to shareholding pattern. Shareholding pattern also, we are going to get extra time. Financial results, we are going to get extra time. So this is something which you have to be aware of. So basically what this amendment is talking about, extension of the time limit for filing, correct? And the second thing, it talks about gap between two meetings. So what is this gap between two meetings? Let us go here. See, you know that board meetings you should hold not more than 120 days from two meetings, correct? This is a basic principle even for listed companies and for other companies also. Even in Companies Act, this is there. So here, what's happening here is because of the crisis and people can't move around and they have to stay at home, what the government telling is relaxation of time gap between two board meetings and audit committee meetings. So what was usually 120 days, as you can see on the screen, now it will be having a additional time. So this exemption is there. So you don't have to worry about that at all. So 120 days gap you don't have to comply with. So if you see here, basically in summary, please make note of this. In LODR regulations, the amendment is that we are getting extension of timeline for filing different forms, different reports, different corporate governance reports, share transfer related reconciliation statements, everything you're getting extra time. For listed companies, it's very great because usually they don't get extra time. Then we go to gap between two meetings. So board meetings and audit committee meetings. For both of this, that 120 days thing is there, no, that has been removed for board meetings. And for audit committee meetings, they're just telling you do for audit committee meetings. They're not saying time gap and all. So it is easier. You don't have to worry about all of these things, correct? Now we'll come to some more amendments. So we'll be coming to some more amendments which we have to be well aware of. So if anybody has any queries, you can always tell me, but I'll be continuing. This is relating to the CAR form. So company affirmation of readiness towards COVID. So now because of this crisis, every government has told work from home wherever possible. Of course, factory you cannot do work from home, correct? But most companies which are into services, they can do work from home. So now company has to file this form called as company affirmation of readiness towards COVID. So this form, please understand, it is not mandatory, but it is a confidence building measure. And already around 2 lakh companies have filed this form. So basically this form says that every company should tell, yes, we are ready to give work from home. We are ready to give the protection. We are ready to have social distancing. So that form should be given to the government. So if you see, I have the form itself here so that you understand in an easy manner. Okay, let me show it to you. Company affirmation of readiness towards COVID. So first you should give the company SIN, pre-fill it. Then you should say, yes, look at this. Company or LLP is in compliance with COVID guidelines, including work from home policy. So there is one minor problem. Government has not given a clear COVID guidelines, but they're saying we should say yes or no. But basically that we are ready to fight this and we are ready to support the employees. That is the most important we have to know. Very, very crucial. So as you can see here, we have to say yes and then pre-fill it. Once we pre-fill, we can submit the form. So what is crucial for us to understand is what are the features of the form. For exam also, please write these features. Yes. First thing is it is a web-based form. What is the meaning of web-based form? It is not a PDF form. You can fill it online, like how you open a Gmail account or now Zoom, you might have opened an account, right? It's as simple as that. So you just have to fill a web-based form and 23rd March onwards, This is there. It is very simple. There is no fees for this form. It is completely free. There is no digital signature for this form. You don't have to file any digital signature. And most importantly, anyone can file this form. And there will be a OTP which will go. This is one little bit of a problem, but it's okay. OTP verification will be there. So OTP will go to the director or company secretary. Yeah, I have filed for some companies because I'm a practicing company secretary. For some companies, we have taken the company secretary because directors are not available for OTP. So the company secretary of the company has given us OTP which comes to their number, and we have filed this form. So that is the COVID form. That is CAR. Okay. Email ID of the authorized signatory will also be given. That is the simple concept. And even for foreign company, foreign LLP also the same form is there. We can have a look at it. I've just given the form. Yes. Next amendment relating to COVID, which we should all know very carefully, is related to CSR spending. This is very crucial. See, now many companies which have to spend money for CSR, they did not know where to spend. But now we have a problem which is global problem, not just for India. So now if you see here, Ministry of Corporate Affairs is telling, keeping in view the spread of the virus COVID-19, it is a pandemic by World Health Organization has declared it. It is a disaster for the whole world. So that is why the funds which are as per 1 to 12, that is Schedule 7. So you know which section talks about CSR, section 135, correct? And most importantly, what is this section 135? The section 135 says that 2% of CSR should be spent for social causes. Now the biggest problem is COVID, and people are wasting a lot of resources, and India has to bear this entire burden. So the government is telling for all the companies, instead of doing other activities, you can contribute to COVID. So now it becomes a what we call as a eligible CSR activity in schedule number 7. So as you can see in this on the screen, eligible CSR activity as per schedule number 7. So funds may be spent for various activities. See here, item number 1 to 12 of schedule 7. And we are also saying that this should be liberally interpreted. So the issues with respect to CSR have been complied with, and schedule 7 is there. So please write these kind of amendments in the exam. It becomes very important for you. Okay. Next, we even come to NCLT. Now, this COVID-19 is amending all the laws because people are not able to function. So even for NCLT, what is the amendment? Let us have a look at it. So if you see here, in view of the lockdown announced, several state government, central government have decided that there will be lockdown till April 14th, correct? Central government has given the declaration. This was 22nd 3/2020 before Prime Minister announced 21 days lockdown. Okay, so they said till 31st March, but now it has been extended and we don't know when it will restart. So what is happening is all NCLT benches will remain closed. So NCLT will not function. But I'll tell you something interesting. Delhi High Court is already going for video conferencing for deciding matters. That is really amazing. I hope they do it for all other cases in future also. That means it could have been done, but court was not agreeing because of a crisis, because there is no other option, there is last option. They're doing video conferencing. It is going to save a lot of time of travel, money, and unnecessary hassles. Correct? So now same way NCLT cannot function. So if you see here, parties councils will not be provided for making oral submissions. So you cannot make any oral submission. In some cases, like regional director office, they have agreed for video conferencing, but not in all cases. Right? So if you want to make a submission to NCLT, what should you do? you have to make a written submission and then wait for this crisis to get over, then they'll have a formal. So one thing which is for sure, after all this crisis, one good thing which will come is many courts, many tribunals, many of these will go online. That means you can do the submissions online. That is through video conferencing. That is definitely going to happen, and that is the best part about this whole crisis. So now NCLT will not be functioning. Yes. So if you see here, NCLT will be there, but it will not be there for the hearing. Financial year's closure, administrative skeletal staff will be there in the NCLT. So very few people will be there. They'll be sitting far away and they'll be functioning. Same way for IBC. Insolvency Bankruptcy Court 2016. Wherever there is extension of time, approval of resolution plan, they will be as urgent matters. The matters will be taken up as soon as the functioning will be there. So right now, no matters in NCLT. Very simple for you. Absolutely no matters in NCLT. It has been closed. This issues with approval of the Honorable Acting President of NCLT. Okay. That is the amendment. So now let us just revise what all we have done so far, all the amendments, so that you are aware. First, I told you about the meetings of the board and its powers rules 2014. So matters not to be dealt in video conferencing. They are given one thing, matters not to be dealt in video conferencing. But now, as you can see on the screen, we have 1 second. Yes, correct. So we have the meetings. Yeah, so like here I am telling you, amendment will be only for 104 days as of now. That means you can do board meeting for amalgamation, merger, demerger, approval of financial statements, audit committee meeting, all this you can do board meeting. It is definitely allowed. Yes, till 30th June at least. After that, we have to see what the government will do. Then we talk about the SEBI LODR. So LODR, what are the two main things we are getting? We are getting extension of time, and we are having a board meeting where we don't have to worry about the time gap. So you know the time gap for board meetings is usually 120 days. So if you see the rule here, board of directors shall meet at least 4 times a year with a maximum time gap of 120 days between 2 meetings. This is the regular provision. What is the relaxation given during COVID crisis? Board of directors and audit committee of the listed entity are exempt from observing the maximum stipulated time gap between 2 meetings for the meetings held the 1st December to 30th June. So in this period, only in this period, you need not worry about 120 days gap. After this, again, maximum gap between 2 meetings should not be more than 120 days, right? Audit committee shall meet at least 4 times in a year and not more than 120 days gap shall elapse between 2 meetings. So here again, audit committee shall ensure that at least 4 meetings in a year, but they don't have to worry about the 120 days gap. That is what we understood. Okay, fine. Then we'll go to, then I told you about all the provisions here. 5th and 6th. So in MCA also, the Ministry of Corporate Affairs website, so we have the help desk. The help desk talks about any complaints which we have. So usually what we do, we raise a ticket, that is voice or a text ticket, that is we call them, or we write a complaint. Now that is not there. So you have any problem with filing, no support because everybody is working from home. MCA is not giving this service. Same way, you could download any company's documents by paying 100 rupees. Just 100 rupees if you pay, you can download any company's documents. Means the public documents, not the confidential documents. Now that has been suspended. That is not there at all. Correct? Then I told you about the CAR, company's affirmation of readiness. This is not a mandatory form, but we have to tell we are giving work from home for all the employees. Every private company is encouraged to file this form. It is not mandatory. Yes. Now almost 2 lakhs companies have filed this. There are around 13 or 14 lakh companies. 2 lakhs have filed it. That is pretty good. Almost 20%. Then CSR spending, now it can be for all the concepts relating to COVID. You can even give the funding to PM Care Fund, which is a new fund which is established by government. And this fund will be used for all the dispute resolution and to make sure that COVID patients are given support and to revive the economy. Now, economy is definitely going to take a hit, no doubt about it. But to revive it, this fund will be there and companies can contribute to the PM Cares Fund and that will be counted as CSR spending. So that way, this year for all companies, very easy. They don't have to do any activity. They just contribute money to the PM Cares Fund or contribute money to COVID related activities. That means to reduce the virus, to help communities, to help the families. All these things can be done. That is also social activity. And this is the time where the whole country should help because it is a problem which applies to everyone. Okay, there is no rich, poor, nothing related to that. Then I told you NCLT benches. NCLT benches will not be functioning right now. NCLT benches will not be functioning. And Limitation Act is also what I want to tell you next. Let us go to the Limitation Act. So I hope you are understanding over here. So if there are any points, please do let me know. So here, Limitation Act. So this is the next amendment which we should know relating to COVID. Because of this, what the Supreme Court has told. So this is directly from Supreme Court. Supreme Court of India has taken a suo motu petition. That means on their own motion, nobody has filed, but Supreme Court felt there is a need. There is a need to do this. So what is that? 23rd again. 23rd they have done this. Let us go here. So let us see here. It is hereby ordered that period of limitation in all proceedings, irrespective of limitation prescribed under general law, whether condonable or not, shall stand extended. So in Limitation Act, we talk about the time limit to file a case, correct? So even in my course on SuperProfs, I've told you clearly in JIGL, Section 3, Section 9 is important, where we talk about the time limit to file a case. You can't file a case. Today, crime has happened. Today, you have a problem. You can't come after 10 years and file the case. It's not logical. There should be some limit, and that limit is Limitation Act. So in Limitation Act, we have time limit for every case. But now, because courts are not functioning, people are not able to go outside, even the Supreme Court is telling, irrespective of limitation prescribed, whether it is condonable or not, whether there is a substantial time extra or not, all the cases will get extra time. That is 15th March till further order. Further order means whenever the court says. So it is indefinite. Now, if this problem is going to go on for another 1 month or 2 months, till that time. So there is no limitation. Since this is one virus, one disease which is affecting everyone and it has completely stopped the country, everything has to change. So law also has to get amended because of that. This is very crucial for you to understand, right? That is what we have understood over here. Yeah, so in tomorrow's video, I'll be telling you company law further amendments. There are 10 amendments in company law. That is by Ministry of Corporate Affairs. And in general, everybody is telling you, even at SuperProfs, we have this program which is called Stay Safe, Stay Home, and Study Well. So I'm just adding that study well. So make sure that you know all this. So in this video, I have told you overall around 8 amendments. I've told you around 8 amendments. First is the board of directors meeting. You can do video conferencing meeting even for things which was not allowed, rule number 4. Then LODR regulations, you're getting extension of time, and also the board meeting, you are not worried about 120 days time gap. Then we came to the concept relating to the car form. Every company should file car form. Then we discussed about NCLT, then CSR spending. Then we talked about our Limitation Act. Then MCS services have been suspended for ticketing services complaints. Then you can't download MCA documents. So the 8 points, so totally 8 amendments we have covered in this video, where all the concepts are important for exam. So please make note of it. Please put it in your notes also now. These 8 amendments I've told you, and in tomorrow's class, I'm ready to tell many more amendments for you. So I'm open for any questions. If you have any questions or anything like that, or if you have understood, that is great. So I think I'm done with all the amendments which is there for today. Tomorrow we'll be having many more amendments. Company law amendments will be there.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you. It is a really informative session.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. And students, you can log back in tomorrow at the same time. We'll start new sessions tomorrow at 6 p.m. for inter-level. And shortly at 7:30, we will start more sessions for the final level students. So if you have any friends who you think will benefit from these sessions, please ask them to join us on the same link of Zoom, or connect with us on Facebook or YouTube Live. Thank you and have a nice day, everyone.